Hey everybody, I am back. I thought of something else to do with the channel, right? Because it's always good to diversify, try to do some different things, especially at the beginning when I'll be honest, I don't really know what this channel is going to end up being about. So I want to try to explore some different ideas. So this is the idea that I had, right? Whenever I'm out there online and I see a website that's like, the best books of 2022, or I'm on Reddit, it's like, give me your best 2023 fantasy novels or stuff like that, or you have a cat running around like a crazy person. I go to Amazon and I'll usually pull down samples, Kindle samples of those books, and they will go right into my Kindle sample folder. And then I have those samples, and they are there, and I never look at them because I've got other stuff to read. So I thought, what's a good way to encourage myself to read those Kindle samples? And here we are. So what I did is I got on my Kindle and I went to Google Sheets and I made a Google Sheet of all of the Kindle samples that I have available to me right now. Put a little random number column in there. I will make a link to that down in the bits below so you can take a look at it if you like. And yeah, just sort by random and pick the first one that pops up. Right, Archie? This is Archie, by the way. He is my producer. I have to answer to him. But anyway, so I ran the Google Sheet for today, and the sample that I want to do is this one. There we go. You can see it right there. It is called To Shape a Dragon's Breath by Moniquill Blackgoose. So here's what I'm going to do. Archie, thank you. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to read this sample, take a few notes, tell you what I think, if it's something that I would like to continue to read. Okay? All right. I will see you on the other side of reading this sample. All right. I have read the sample, and first impression is pretty good. First impression is actually really good because it starts with a map. And you know how it is. Any fantasy book that has a map, going to be good. Right, Archie? Archie agrees. The second thing it has right up at the front is a pronunciation guide, because this book takes place in kind of an alternate world. You can see that from the map. It looks very earthy. And it takes place, or at least it starts, in what seems to be an indigenous fishing village on the east coast of North America, where you have people who have been living for thousands of years in their indigenous culture, fishing and taking care of themselves for quite some time, and they are hemmed in by these two much larger cultures, the English and the Vakoshish, and they have signed treaties, as the grandmother character reminds us repeatedly, and they're basically trying to survive in what seems to be a much higher technology. Like in the middle of a much higher technology world, they're trying to keep to their traditional beliefs. Our narrator is out collecting food, and she has an encounter with a dragon, which is a Nampeshwe, is what it's called. And she ends up finding a dragon egg, which she ends up hatching and becoming kind of bonded to, becoming the caretaker of this dragon egg, which makes her a Nampeshwesit, which is a person who is specifically chosen by a dragon. Of course, this opens a whole bunch of problems because dragons are not unknown in this world. The English and the Vakoshish, they have dragons, but not like real dragons. This is a real mythological heavy hitter dragon. And so her brother, who works with the English, who has gone off to work in a cannery, he comes back and he says, look, if you want to keep this dragon and probably your life, you're going to have to register the dragon. You're going to have to go to school to learn how to run the dragon. You can't just have a dragon, or the English will come in and probably kill both of you. So she has to decide between sticking around with her own culture, her tradition, the home that she knows and that she loves, and the people she knows and loves, or go off to this, I guess, dragon academy, where she needs to learn how to ride and control the dragon. And of course, the two sort of focal points of this are her grandmother, who is, of course, elderly, as grandmothers often are, and who basically doesn't want things to change. She's the one who keeps saying, we have a treaty, whenever the idea that the English might come in and uproot things. And it is her grandson, the narrator's brother, who went off to work for them, who says, look, if they want us, they'll come and get us, right? There was this other village way over there, and they discovered that village had resources they want, and that village isn't there anymore. So if you want to keep whatever it is you have, you're going to have to send our daughter, you're going to have to send that girl off to learn how to be a dragon person, a dragon wrestler, wrangler, I forget the word they used. And so that is the sort of central conflict, at least at the beginning of the story. It seems to look like this is going to be a multi-part story, because the cover says is the first book of the Nampeshuesit. And it feels good. The narrative voice is nice. It's easy to read. The native language is a little bit tough to get your head around. I actually got some post-it notes and wrote them out so I could pronounce things properly for this video. But I think once you get your head around it, it's really not that hard. There's a reason why there's a pronunciation guide in the beginning, and put a little effort into it. You'll be fine. Don't you worry about it. So by and large, yeah, it looks like a nice story. I think it could work. I can kind of try to predict some stuff I think is going to happen, right? Of course, we're going to have a culture clash. Almost certainly, the original village is going to come under some sort of threat, and the narrator's going to have to decide to come back or not. She's going to ultimately have to decide whether to side with the high technology, colonial, imperial, I'm assuming, English, or her own people, perhaps, and her own traditions, because this dragon that she found is a very traditional dragon. And so it's going to be, I have a feeling, one of the main threads of this whole story is that sort of the push and pull between old cultures and new cultures, between tradition and modernity, between staying with your people or going out to find new people because they may afford you some measure of success. So as a sample, it looks good. I think I will put it on a list of books to read, definitely. So that list is long and getting longer. And time is still linear, and I still have limited amounts of it. But I think if I had to decide whether or not to read this from the sample, I would say yeah. I would like to read this book. So if you would like to, you can certainly get the sample on Kindle, on Amazon. If you want to read the whole thing, hey, knock yourselves out and tell me what you think. Is it a good one? So from time to time, I'll pop in here, I will reshuffle the list, and I'll read another sample. So thank you very much for stopping by. I hope you find something interesting to read, and when you do, come let me know. All right. See you later.